Welcome to Dirty Fanatics.
Falcon fans, Falcon Nation, Chase and Cody from DFU is coming at you live on a Saturday evening. Yes, it is still Chase, C-Money, just beardless here tonight for you at DFU. Falcon fans, it is episode, didn't even put the number up on the shelf because this is a pop-up show here for DFU. Falcon fans, hit that like button, leave a comment, definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel, and ring the bell if you like what you receive here from DFU. Falcon fans, we are talking Falcon football. We are officially one day, not even a whole day, a couple of hours, I would say, 14, 15 hours from the live event in Atlanta. The Falcons take on the Los Angeles Chargers. A big matchup, Cody, and I'm sure we're going to talk about it here for a good hour tonight. Cody, what's going on, man? How you been doing? Falcons in the bye week, not a lot going on football-wise, but it is time to talk Falcon football, man. How we been doing, brother?
Doing all right, man. Just, surviving the work week, getting through Thanksgiving, did some cooking with, had mom down at the house. So nice. Nothing too big. It's just me and her. Wife's on vacation in Florida. Unfortunately, I had to work this year, so was stuck here. But can't complain. Love the state of Georgia. Love being here. So, it is what it is. She gets home tonight sometime. So, but definitely looking forward to Falcon football. 2 weeks without Falcon football is too long, man.
You are absolutely right, Cody. I could not manage myself the past few days. I've wanted to talk Falcon football, but I just couldn't find the conversation to talk about. And I said, damn it, I can't wait till Sunday to do a pregame show, Cody. I got to go live tonight because I've just been itching to talk Falcon football officially. Not even a full day away from taking the field again, man. We're looking for a big bounce back against these Los Angeles Chargers. It's been tough times here since these Falcons took on the NFC South rival, the New Orleans Saints. It's almost like somebody casted a voodoo spell down in New Orleans, and the Falcons have just been a burning bridge since. Falcons still rank pretty high, Cody, when it comes to the offense side of the ball. They still rank at number 8 in the NFL. Defensive side of the ball right now, midseason, ranking 25th at the bottom of the league, of bottom 4 with sacks. So, Cody, looking for a big progression there when it comes to the defense side of this bye week. When I speak of defense, a name that comes to mind to me, Matthew Judon, a guy that was a trade that you traded for a third-round pick. You traded your third-round pick for him. Now, remember, Cody, you lost your fifth-round pick for the tampering with Kirk Cousins. Right. So now you've traded your third-round pick for Matthew Judon, a one-year contract. He's playing on a deal right now. So he needs to make some sacks in Atlanta to get that contract that we traded away for a third-round pick. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one thing that I liked about Judon was, when he came here to Atlanta, he wasn't automatically demanding a contract. That's what the thing, he said himself was, Atlanta doesn't know who I am as a football player, and I've got to go out there and earn it and prove it. And right now, a lot of it is Judon is getting pressure, but a lot of the problem that he's having is he's getting, again, I hate to give any kind of excuses, but he gets held quite a bit that doesn't get called. But at the end of the day, he's got to do his job and he's got to get it done. But it's not just Matthew Judon; it's the entire defense, man. We're ranked 32 in sacks right now with eight in week 13. That's less than a sack a game. And it's unexcusable, and that's something Jimmy Lake. And hopefully this defensive staff got together in this this bye week and, change some things, whether it be getting away from this 3-4, changing how they, scheme or whatever they do. But, I hopefully, tomorrow against San Diego, they find a way to put some sacks on the board.
Cody, I love how you gave him a throwback with the San Diego. I do it all the time when I speak on these new teams. With the new names, I do it all the time, bro. I called the Rams St. Louis the other day. So the city changes is always weird to get adjusted to in the NFL. But a big matchup for sure coming out of the gate, Cody. And to me, it's one of those must-win games once again for these Atlanta Falcons. You have a team that you swept in the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that are knocking at the door. There is no way in hell the Atlanta Falcons let the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the NFC South opponent that you swept, take the NFC South after Sunday. Cody, you must walk away with this W.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, like you said, Tampa Bay's knocking at the door. Now, the good news is if we lose I almost said San Diego again. The good news is if you do lose the Chargers, which I don't think happens, and Tampa Bay wins, yes, we're tied. Right? We're tied, but we've got the tiebreaker. But you do not want to leave the season up to tiebreakers. You just want to handle business. I think the Falcons, I agree with you. I think this is a must-win game. As a matter of fact, the final 6 games, I think you need to go at least 4-2. It's very doable with the teams that we play. You've got New York on schedule. You've got the Raiders on schedule, the Carolina Panthers. I think those are your 3 should be gimmies. Now, I know there's no gimmies in the NFL, but those are the 3 teams that you absolutely have to handle business against, and I think you have to do it against this Chargers team too.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the game coming off the Chargers game, I believe it's the Raiders next in line, and then you have the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins' previous team. That's the Raiders game, Cody, we could all agree that should be a W, correct? If the team comes out and does their job. And that's where I said when we talked about these previous last, 5 games it was, 4 to 5 games it was, I said the Falcons could initially win 3 games and lose 2. And the Chargers was one of my games that I said that the Falcons could afford to lose to. But when it comes to the Raiders, you don't want to lose to the Raiders. You don't want to lose to teams that are not winning. If you're going to lose a game, you're going to lose a game to a Chargers team that is going to be a playoff team. You do not want to lose games that are going to hinder your playoff chances to teams that are not even sniffing the playoffs. And that's why we're looking down the schedule here. When you get to the last week of the NFL, you have another NFC South rival, Cody, a team that has, I won't say grasped what they needed to grasp, but I mean, let's be legit. Bryce Young looks a little more comfortable in that offense. So So when you come to I'm looking way down the line right now. The Falcons could shock the world and go undefeated here the rest of the bye week. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is you got to win these easy matchups. So if it is that you lose to the Chargers, please, to the love of God, do not lose to the Raiders. Do not do that to Falcon fans, because this will be your official 3 L's back to back to back if you come out Sunday and lose. And Cody, you can agree and you may disagree, but Falcon fans are going to come unhinged.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, knowing this fan base that, been part of it, you definitely know that people are going to be infuriated, and most people do off of a bye, especially going in, with 2 straight losses. Especially
quick,
the way
shout out to Manuel McFarland for the light. Appreciate you, brother. Go ahead, Cody.
I'll say, but yeah, no, Falcon fans will be loud, especially if you lose to San Diego, especially the way we lost the last 2 weeks. And then having a week off, people have had to sit on that, for 2 weeks with no Falcon football. And I think that, honestly, this is, kind of where the Michael Penix talks, really ramp up if you lose. Now, I don't think Michael Penix needs to start in any of these games. I'm still, backing Kirk Cousins 100%. But yeah, you've got to take care of business. Like you said, when it comes to teams like the Raiders, the Panthers, the New York Giants, you can't let those teams hang around. You've got to put them away. And again, that comes down to our defense. We know our offense can be explosive. We know our offense can put up 30 points. It's just, can our defense hold and get people on the ground, get the quarterback on the ground? Absolutely.
Tackling has been an issue, Cody, when it comes to the run game. You've seen it against the Denver Broncos. That game there, man, what a terrible game to even look at, Cody. I mean, that was supposed to be the bounce back game. And then that was the game that you came out and gave the worst performance that you gave all season. I would say, and I'm sure a lot of Falcon fans would agree with me here, that bye week was never needed here for these Atlanta Falcons. Coming off of the bye week now, we look at the injury report, Cody, and Mike Hughes, a name that's still lingering there on the injury list that will not play tomorrow, is another one, another longtime Falcon that you rarely ever see on the bench. Questionable for Sunday. So the Falcons go and sign a new kicker. Cody, if you would, let these Falcons know a little bit about this new kicker here that the Falcons have signed.
Yeah, I would say what was his name again?
Riley Patterson.
He doesn't look bad. Like I say, he's played for Detroit, Jacksonville, Oh, so he's had 2 stints in Detroit. He played for Jacksonville, Cleveland, and the New York Jets. He looks pretty solid, anywhere from 5 to about 45 back. Now, the only thing that was a little concerning to me that we talked about was from 50 plus. And now I know 50-yard field goals are not easy by any stretch of imagination. He's had 8 attempts. He's only made 3, but it's one of those things it's kind of like the Matt Ryan thing is like, you don't realize how bad you missed you're going to miss Younghoe Koo when he's gone until you don't have him. So now I've got faith in the kid. It seems like he's fairly consistent, his
extra points, Cody. This is where when you bring up the fact of you don't know how bad you're going to miss Koo until he's gone. He looks like he can make extra points, but this is where the Falcons have got to put up points. An issue that they had last week or the week prior, where they could not put up points, Cody. The Falcons must get in the red zone and score, as they did the first drive against Denver that was called back with the horrendous flags there back to back to back. Real quick, shout out to Atlanta Falcons Fandemic in the chat. Says, top of the evening, guys. We got this. Let's go. Rise up. Atlanta Falcons Fandemic, give me your score prediction for Sunday against these Atlanta Falcons and the Los Angeles Chargers. I about said Las Vegas. Man, these new names here in the NFL, it's been a couple of years now. It's not even a new name, but it still takes me a while to adjust to it. Sports Nuts is in the chat. Shout out to the Sports Nuts. Says, let's get them birds. Big game this weekend. From what I've seen, Morris did some noticeable changes. Falcon fans, this is what we need to happen. We need those noticeable changes because I've seen a statement that came straight out of the mouth of Raheem Morris. Matthew Judon is expected to do more after this bye week. So hopefully this defense has a new scheme, maybe a new play caller. Who knows what may happen? I'd still say Gray should hold the reins of this defense until maybe Lake learns the NFL type of style. But that's for another conversation. Cody, the Sports Nuts thinks Atlanta takes this dub 34-20. That would be amazing, scoring 34 points after you did not do anything the previous week. Cody, we're not going to give a score prediction tonight, but we will talk about it in the pregame show tomorrow before the Falcons take the field. My guy Thomas Scott is in the live chat with the 100 emoji. Shout out Thomas Scott. Shout out to the Rise Up Tour, man. Falcon fans, if you have not joined the Rise Up Tour,
oh, your audio went out.
Terrible ad there, Michael. I'm sorry for that. Terrible ad. But check out the Rise Up Tour, man. The Rise Up Tour on Facebook groups. They do big things for Falcon fans that travel to Falcon games. If you want to travel to games and you haven't done so, check out the Rise Up Tour because you will never be alone with the Rise Up Tour. They're Falcon fans. They take tour buses to games. They take parades to New Orleans down there on Bourbon Street, parade down Mardi Gras. Or down Bourbon Street. It's crazy what Thomas Scott and Jack Spade does for the Falcon fans, man. Check out the Rise Up Tour. You're not going to regret it, man. Tell them Chase sent you. My guy, Bodie in the chat said, DFU, Bodie, what it do, man? Glad to have you here in the live chat. Shout out to my brother, Bodie, another one time for the fan podcaster that kind of started out together there, man. Shout out to Bodie. The Sports Nut in the chat said, Falcon fans, like, subscribe, and share, and comment the hashtag DFU. Cody, defense has been a problem all year. Let's be for real. I mean, your first week one, your week two, you look kind of like a legit defense, but then it kind of simmered out after the Kansas City Chiefs game. So that brings me to the Chargers offense. You have Justin Herbert, one of the best passer ratings in the NFL, also with the best deep ball in the NFL as well. Justin Herbert with a dominant Lab McConkey, a guy that has pretty much turned into a receiver one over in LA. Also, Quentin Johnson, another first-round pick on that offense there at receiver. Cody, how does this secondary control these receivers? And I know you're going to say it starts with the D-line, but how do you control a Lab McConkey with a Mike Hughes still injured, starting a young Clark Phillips that is still trying to find his footing here in this defensive scheme?
Well, yeah, it's like you said, Clark Phillips has absolutely got to play. It's got to play to that next level, man, because Lab McConkey has absolutely, we enjoyed him here while he was in Georgia, and we've seen what he does. And so it's no surprise to us as Falcon fans to see him, what he's doing in L.A. So, what you've got to do, you're absolutely right. It does start with the defensive line, but Clark Phillips has got to find a way to play, lights out. And, when it comes down to it, man, we've got to see we got to see D. Alford, man. We got to see D. Alford step up too. You know, the way he played against Dallas, and then the way that he, you know, showed up, you know, the game after that, you know, he really played a huge part in our defense and, you know, was playing really well. As a matter of fact, you know, even, you know, I think D was out in Denver. And I think it kind of showed.
It showed a lot because you brought in, what was it, Abernathy? He got hurt.
Abernathy, King, and
King was the guy that got hurt pretty early in that game. So then you were down to your third string nickel defender there. That was not a good look, man. And it showed with a young Bo Nix that was able to expose it.
Right.
Cody, this defense has got a big task at hand tomorrow at 1:00. And I know you will be in the building for it. Cody,
yes, sir.
What advice could you give to these Falcon fans when it comes to third down, fourth down, first down when these Chargers are on the field, man? What advice could you give these Falcon fans?
Man, the biggest thing is be loud, bring the energy, because you know what, Falcon fans, we haven't been in the bins in 3 weeks, and we need to make it feel like it's not like week 1 because it was pretty bad week 1, but we need to bring the energy like it was against the Dallas Cowboys. You need to bring it like when it was against the Saints. That's what, you know, that they're going to feed off of that, because you know what, the Falcons haven't been home for 3 weeks either, and they're going to, you know, absolutely will feed off the fan energy. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we just have to be loud all the time. And, you know, I've harped on, you know, being in your seats early and stuff like that. And that flat out doesn't happen. But so when you get there, just be loud and be, you know, and, you know, help out, you know, just, you know, I know, you know, I'm sure I'm irritating to a lot of people and I'm loud to a lot of people, but you know what, that's what I'm there for, because that's what they need, you know? So, you know, Falcon fans, you know, if you're not going to show up early, when you do get there, just be loud, be proud of your team. Don't, you know, that was one of the things the announcer always says is don't get scared. Don't get nervous. You know, as fans, you can't button up, be loud, make it hell for the Chargers to come into our building. You know, and communicate, because that is one of the biggest weapons that an offense has, because they know the play, they know snap count, they know what's going on, and your defense has to react. But if you can make it hard for them to communicate and make changes and, you know, and just communicate with each other, it makes it a lot harder for that offense to function. And, you know, any player will tell you when it's loud and you can't hear, and now you're having to go to silent counts, mistakes happen. Because you know what? Now you're having to watch the center snap the ball instead of, you know, listen for, you know, the third hike or the second one or whatever you're going on go. So just get there, be loud, you know, and support these Falcons, because we're headed in the right direction. And if you can win, you know, if you can keep winning games and turn this around from these last 2 losses, man, the South is ours. It just is. There's no way around it. Just be there, be loud.
Absolutely. Speaking about the South being yours, man, to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan and to know you already locked that playoff spot must be amazing. The day that I see the Atlanta Falcons have officially locked down that NFC South playoff spot, man, I'm going to go nuts on this podcast, Falcon fans. And it starts Sunday, man. It starts Sunday. To get back up 2 games on the South would be amazing, because who does the Bucs play? Can you look that up real quick, Cody? Who does the Bucs play tomorrow? Because that is a big deal for the Atlanta Falcons. If they can lose and we can win, we're back up 2 games on the NFC South, which is major when it comes to this playoff run here for these Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, you can get some help. Oh, the Panthers. Come on, Bryce Young. We need you to snap in and play some ball Sunday, man. Panthers, I will never root for you, but I will root for you this Sunday. Please get the job done. Is it in Charlotte or is it in Tampa?
It's in Charlotte.
Please get the job done in Charlotte. That trash-ass stadium. You may have rats running in the concession stands. You may have cracks down your cement walls and the rebar sticking out. But please beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Sunday. Please.
Yeah, do us a
Falcon
favor.
fans, let's talk some stats here, man, because I'm a big stat guy, and I like to look at the stats from the previous team and what they've done the week prior. The Chargers are coming off of a pretty sour L here from the Baltimore Ravens, 30-23. The Chargers sit at 7-4 this year. Justin Herbert was 21 for 36 attempts, 218 yards. J.K. Dobbins, which is inactive for Sunday, went for 6 for 40. Their backup went 4 for 29. Ladd McConkey with 6 receptions, 83 yards. That name that probably will be thrown around a pretty good bit tomorrow. Ladd McConkey has got to be contained. And I must say, AJ or whoever is covering him, please put him on the island. Their other receivers, 4 for 47, 3 for 38, 2 for 20. J.K. Dobbins, 3 for 19. Quentin Johnson, 0 for 0, so didn't have too big of a game. A stat that shows to me, and this is an overall team stat, they allowed the Baltimore Ravens to rush for 212 yards Sunday, or their last Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
So that, to me, is a big statement for the Atlanta Falcons when you do this game plan. If you watch this last prior tape of this game, you look at how the Ravens ran the ball on the Chargers. If you can run the ball for 212 yards with Tyler Algier, yes, let Tyler Algier touch the football this game.
Yes. With
Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson, you can run for 200 yards. That should not be a problem, and that is your recipe to success Sunday to beat this team. We look at their third down efficiency. They were 5 for 14, kind of where we're ranking our offenses ranking there with 5 to 14. Their fourth down efficiencies are pretty nice for 2 for 2. Their total plays were 60 to the Ravens' total plays of 60. Now, they allowed 4 sacks on Justin Herbert Monday night. So that is another statement that these Falcons could hopefully make some noise here when it comes to the silent sack treatment here in Atlanta. Hopefully we can see a quarterback in the dirt Sunday, tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the bins. They punted 4 times. They had 7 penalties for 62. They had 0 interceptions, 0 fumble loss. But Justin Herbert also threw 0 touchdowns in that game. So if Falcons can come in and lock down and play a solid defensive game, I believe the Falcons can walk out Sunday as winners and advance from 6-5 to 7-5, matching the Chargers, which would then be 7-5. Falcon fans, a big game coming tomorrow, man. DF, you will be here to talk about it. Avis is in the chat, says, someone say we rooting for Carolina for one more time. Left a bad taste in my mouth. But, hey, get it done, you pansies. Get it done, man. Get it done. Get it done. Shout out to Avis, man. Avis is watching the PPV with the pops on the wrestling. So shout out to Avis, man. Shout out. One more shout out.
Oh, we lost him. Let's say, I don't know what the shout out was going to be, but yeah, no, the Falcons just need to go and handle business until, man, we just got to go handle business. I would say, because if you look at a lot of the teams that are in the hunt, they're right behind us. So getting the job done against the Chargers this Sunday is going to be huge. There we go. I was able to.
Sorry. I appreciate it, Cody. I'm glad you kept it rolling, man. Technical difficulties over here, man. I was going to give a shout out to them Appleton County Pirates, man. Shout out to the hometown team making it to the Final Four. One more dub, and them boys are headed to state. Falcon, if you're a Pirate fan and you're watching from Bexley, Georgia, please travel to Columbus, man. Give these Pirates a crowd, man. We need one more game, and we take it to Atlanta. Shout out to the high school team, man. But, Cody, when you hear these stats, bro, when you hear that the Chargers allowed 4 sacks, they weren't too great in passing yards with only 202. They allowed 212 rushing yards. Cody, if you had to get a recipe to success to take on the Chargers for Sunday, what would that be?
Yeah, easy. I got three points that will shut down the Chargers. And so, obviously, you've got to give the ball to Tyler Algier this weekend. You cannot have him touch the ball 0 times. That is never going to be a recipe for success, period. All of our losses have come where Tyler hasn't touched the ball more than 3 times. So you have to get Tyler involved involved, man. So then after that, it's these next 2 are defensive keys. Do not play this soft zone crap that you played in Denver because it did not work against Bo Nix, a rookie quarterback who you made look like the second coming of Peyton Manning. Quit playing this weak-ass crap, zone crap. Play man. Man up. Take away Lad McConkey. Take away all these other receivers because obviously, J.K. Dobbins isn't a bad back, but he's not going to be able to carry that football.
He's out, Cody.
Oh, he's out. Oh, there we go. So,
yeah,
that doesn't even matter at that point then. So, if you can make this team one-dimensional, which you should be able to do, if you can, AJ, I need AJ, Simmons, I need Clark Phillips, I need Richie. I need these guys to step up and take away that passing because what I said San Diego again. What the LA Chargers have done have made it to where Justin Herbert doesn't have to carry this team. Yeah. They've made it simple for him, just like they had in Denver. So if you can take away his pass game and make him rely on his run game, is going to be a very long day for the God, man, I keep wanting to say San Diego Chargers. I'll say for the LA Chargers, it will not be an easy day. But the biggest thing, and this is going to be a huge key, get him on the ground. You have to get him on the ground.
Cody, this is something I want to talk about, and this is just something that popped in my mind because I'm just scrolling through their schedule and what they played this season. If you look at the Chargers season, they've played familiar teams that the Falcons will play this year. The Raiders, they played them. Obviously, that's a division matchup there. They won that game 22-10. All right, then they faced the Panthers. They won that game 26-3. Then they played the Steelers, a team that we lost to week 1, barely losing. They lose to the Steelers 20-10. Okay, then the Chiefs roll in town. They beat the Chargers 17-10. The Chargers did beat the Broncos 23-16.
That's a Chargers game. Yeah.
The Chargers lost to the Cardinals 17-15. They beat the Saints 26-8. They beat the Browns 27-10. They beat the Titans 27-17. They beat the Bengals 34-27, and then the Ravens come in town and beat them 30-23. So if I'm looking at the schedule, guys, this schedule's not very strong. No. If I'm being for real, and we've passed a lot of these teams that they've played that we've lost to, they lost to. So you may have a pretty even matchup when it comes Sunday. When it comes to Sunday, you may have a game that's a nail-biting game, but I think the Falcons can win it. I really do. I think the Falcons have a chance.
Yeah, absolutely they do. And I think you're right. I don't think that by any means is it a blowout. Now, I think we definitely have a little bit of an advantage, coming off the bye, and they're coming off a Monday night game. So they've had a little less time to prepare. But, hopefully Coach Ross, got us over to California early. So
Cody, we got a cheesehead. We got a cheesehead in the chat, Cody. We got a molded cheesehead in the chat. Hey, Ken James, we appreciate the comment, brother. Hit that like and subscribe because we'll accept anybody on the road to 1K. We appreciate your comment, Ken James. Falcon fans, hit the like button. Leave a comment like my guy Ken James did because it just pushes the algorithm further and further. Falcon fans, be more like Ken James. Leave comments like Ken James, and let's get this podcast rolling. Falcon fans, we appreciate y'all, man. But, Cody, the Falcons, man, we've seen this offense kind of be explosive at times, and we've seen this offense be a spiraling downhill team. Mm-hmm. How does this offense bounce back after probably one of their worst performances in Denver? Coming off this bye week, Cody, how do you bounce back? And what do you do?
Yeah, no, that's real easy. I would say you got to stay away from two things. You got to stay away from the stupid penalties that absolutely kill drives like we did in Denver. That game in Denver doesn't get away from you if you get that early touchdown because the momentum doesn't swing so hard. So you quit killing good drives with stupid penalties. You just have to do it. It's that's all coaching, and I understand the players make the mistakes, but that's coaching, and it was something that I ranted and raved about after the Denver game when we did our podcast was the next guy who kills a drive with the stupid penalty that knocks us out of field goal range, that takes the touchdown away, needs to be running all practice long until they figure out, hey, you can't put your hands in somebody's face. Hey, after the guy, after Bijan or Tyler's, 15 yards downfield, you don't need to hold on to the guy any longer. Let go. Yeah. So quit doing that. And then the other thing that you have to do, and this is one thing that drives me nuts, that Zach Robinson has got to figure it out. When you have momentum going and you've got it going good, quit throwing these stupid little screen passes. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it on 3rd and 15. You definitely don't need to be doing it on 2nd and 7. Though there's time for those plays. Screens work. Don't get me wrong. Screens work, and they're good for really short yardage and stuff like that. Sometimes you can break them, but it absolutely kills drives when you're throwing these little screen yards and it's 2nd and 7. You throw a screen, you throw a little dinky screen, 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you get 3 yards, and now it's 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 3. That's manageable. But it kills momentum. You got to quit throwing those screens. And teams have figured it out. Teams have absolutely figured it out that he likes to do that in certain situations because there are times they line up. I'm like, oh, here comes the screen, and you can't be that predictable. You got to figure that out. Stop. So again, the way you get back on track when you've got momentum, no stupid penalties. And for the love of God, quit throwing the screen that much. You don't need to. I mean, you do not need to throw the screen more than 2 or 3 times a game.
Been screaming it all year, Cody. Hopefully Zach Robinson hears this eventually. Real quick, shout out to Ron Thomas, shout out to Manuel C. McFarland, and my guy Thomas Scott for the likes over on Facebook. If you're viewing on Facebook, man, leave a like, comment a Falcon fan that you know, and share this podcast to another friend. Falcon fans, something a little off topic of football. DFU this year wants to sponsor a family, a kid, whatever it may be, whether it's a supper, whether it's a couple of presents for a kid in need, a family in need. DFU would like to sponsor someone's Christmas this year. So Falcon fans, if you know a family in need, please get at me on Facebook at Chase Cravey. You can comment here on YouTube and we will directly message you wherever you want to comment at DFU if you know a family that's in need this Christmas holiday, whether that be just, like I said, a hot meal, anything to support somebody in this time of need. We would greatly love to do it, man. Real quick, Atlanta Falcons fan David in the chat said, we bounce back by making Kyle Pitts play up the size and skill. Opposing offenses will have to play honest if Kyle is involved. Absolutely. Defenses is hard to scheme for a Kyle Pitts. And that's where a healthy Charlie Warner brings that side of the ball back into action. Charlie Warner is active and ready Sunday, so you shall see another Kyle Pitts breakout game. It's been a while since we've seen those 100-yard performances. We were getting them week by week by week. Now we're getting kind of where people are injured. Kyle Pitts is having to play more of a blocking scheme tight end, and he's done pretty magnificent at it in this part of the season. I would love to see Kyle Pitts definitely make a big end of the season here after the bye week, being that it is the contract season. If Kyle Pitts wants a big contract, he must play at a big advantage. If Kyle Pitts wants a subpar contract, that's what he will get if he plays subpar here in Atlanta. Falcon fans, big moves coming up this offseason, big moves to make tomorrow against the Chargers in Atlanta. The stadium must be hostile, Falcon fans. Please be in your seats. Please be rowdy. Please get loud. Cody, I wanted to do 30 minutes tonight just to bring the Falcon fans a little bit of content. We will be back live tomorrow night, or tomorrow morning, actually, I should say, for a pregame show of the Atlanta Falcons versus the Chargers. Be sure to meet up with DFU. We will be live talking Falcon football. Cody, obviously, you will be at the game. I don't know if you'll make the pregame show or not, but Cody will be with us at the after show, the wrap-up game. So be sure to be around here for DFU's pregame and after show. Be sure to subscribe, ring the bell so you know when we go live. Cody, give your shout-outs for tonight, brother, before we get ready to close out.
Yes, sir. I'll say, shout out, to everybody, like and comment, even the Green Bay fan. We'll take it. Like I say, just get us
Shout
out
out
there.
Ken James.
Any way to get us out there, man. Cheeks Gaming that comments, he's a Bronco fan. I should have brought him. That's my stepbrother. So, love him, but, fuck the Broncos. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, man, for having a pop-up show, man. I missed the last one. I was just such a busy week, kind of living the bachelor life here at the house, like I say, with the wife being on vacation. So, maintenance of the house and sweeping and cleaning and doing all that stuff has, been left to me, which, man, it's, I hate housework, but, you got to do what you got to do. But shout out to you coming on and doing this, man. I like the new look. I do. Like I say, you look
it's
just
temporary.
like
Beard is on vacation. Thanksgiving came around. I didn't want food in my beard, so I just
there you go. No leftovers in the beard. I understand that, but shout out to you, man. I would say I love coming on talking Falcon football. It feels like it's been way too long.
Absolutely.
But shout out to the team, man. Just go and handle your business because we need to, man. We just need to say. You got teams in the hunt that are right behind us too. So if you fall out of the control of the South, man, you just got to handle your business. But other than that, man, hey, it's great to be back and it's great to be talking Falcon football.
Absolutely. Manuel McFarland, we appreciate your comment, brother, and your like over on Facebook. It says coaches also has to up their game and put this team in position to win. We agree with you, Manuel. Hopefully the Falcons can shock the world tomorrow and bounce back big for these Falcon fans and for the NFC South. We need it big here, Manuel. Appreciate your comment, brother. Falcon fans, I want to thank everybody that tuned in for this pop-up show. Everybody that's over on Facebook, head over to YouTube. DFU_ATL1 is all. Actually, believe it or not, it's DFU_ATL. So I got to type in all caps, DFU_ATL on YouTube. Subscribe over there for us. We're on the road to 1K. We're at like 450-ish over on YouTube. So hit the subscribe button, leave a like. once again, Cody, appreciate you coming through, man, on the pop-up show.
Absolutely.
Couldn't have done it without you. Definitely wasn't going to talk to myself. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Shout out to obviously God himself for allowing us to do this. Another podcast is on the shelf. Shout out to the wife. Shout out to mom. Shout out to pops. Shout out to just another day of living, man. And once again, happy Thanksgiving to all the families out there that watch DFU. Appreciate your support. Cody will be live tomorrow. Cody is in the bins, rowdy and turn Falcon fans. DFU is out of here, man. Rise up, A-Town down. Peace out. Much love.
Rise up.